Hi, this is Nicholas Arachi, the Home Source Guy, president and owner of Source Development, Inc., a residential and commercial construction company in Garnerville, New York, and this is how to soundproof a sink. Now, why would you want to soundproof a sink, first of all? Well, when you buy sinks, you buy them at different quality levels. There's only a couple differentiations between sinks, and one of them is the gauge of the metal, and the other one is the soundproofing. Now, this is an old sink that we just took off our model here. And if you notice, this gray portion here is an acrylic soundproof that comes from the factory. And they have different levels of this. So let's say you bought a house and you got a less than exemplary sink installed from your builder. And you get that tinny sound when you're pouring water down the drain. And they're more pronounced the bigger the sink. Obviously, the more hollower the sound that you get. And it could be, it could become annoying after a while. Well, what I did was, quick trick is to get some rubber from either an old tire tube. This particular is roofing material. I cut out a square, took the corners out of the square, and cut a circle in the middle. And what that's going to do is it's going to cover the sink, so when water pours down the drain, you're going to dampen the sound. And that's the whole idea behind soundproofing. So I'll take our little piece of rubber here, lay it down on some cardboard, spray some contact cement, some industrial contact cement actually. The better quality, the better it'll stick. So I'm going to spray the top of the sink, or the bottom of the sink, excuse me, and the one side of the rubber. Wait till that tacks up, and then I'm going to install the rubber over the dried or semi-dried adhesive. Now, another form of soundproofing would be a rubberized undercoat. You can get this at any automotive place, actually. They use this under cars. It's essentially the same thing, although I think most of the sink manufacturers probably use an acrylic-based product. This is probably an oil-based product. So it can get rather messy. So try to use something to block off as you're spraying, as a guard almost, and spray the bottom of the sink. So it's a great idea to use a piece of cardboard to protect the surfaces before we spray the adhesive. So we're going to give a nice liberal coat of adhesive here. Once the adhesive's been set up, I'm going to lay it right over the sink, try to center it as best as we can. Now, it's okay if you have these gaps, by the way. It doesn't have to be 100%. So again, the whole idea is to dampen the sound so you can instantly hear the difference in tinniness between the two bowls. So suppose you have a situation where the sink has already been installed. It's already installed. You don't want to disconnect the drains. You don't want to disconnect the sinks or anything of that sort. A good idea, just to dampen the sound, is to take a silicone tube of silicone, excuse me, and apply it in a cross pattern at the bottom of the sink. And again, it'll just limit the sound. It won't have the same absorption that a solid piece of rubber would have. You can also spray the undercoat underneath it. Take a piece of cardboard along with your rubberized undercoat and spray the bottom of the sink, shielding anything that you don't want to have overspray on. This is Nicholas Arachi, president and owner of Source Development, Inc., a residential and commercial construction company in Garnerville, New York, and the Home Source Guy. And this was how to soundproof a sink. So reach out to me at Facebook on the Home Source Guy.